Hey everyone, it's Sarah from Sassy Reads, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the books that I've read in 2018. So the first book that I'll be talking about is called Murder in the Bayou, Who Killed the Woman Known as the Jeff Davis 8 by Ethan Brown. This is a true crime novel. The audiobook is really interesting. I gave it 4 stars for the entirety of with the narration, with the actual content. I think it's a pretty solid 4-star read for me. It follows the Jefferson Davis women. It uncovers prostitution rings that were occurring in the Jennings Motel. It uncovers police corruption in Jennings, as well as other other parishes, and how people from these parishes go to other parishes. And yeah, I know a lot of these politicians that they're talking about because I'm from Louisiana, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on what I personally think occurred. I'm not trying to have the government show up at my house or anything, but yeah, it's a fun true crime novel. It's definitely gotten a lot of flack in this area, that's for sure, but I enjoyed it. It was like having some tea poured. I was like, oh, interesting. The next book that I read is called Dimension Drift, Prequel by Christina Baer. This I received from NetGalley and the publishers in exchange for an honest review. This one, 2.5 stars. It's not a bad novel, but it's not a great novel. It does what it's supposed to. It's a YA dystopian, targeted more toward early YA readers. It follows a girl named Mimi, or Mamie, something like that. And her mom's been comatose since her sisters run away. But on the morning of her birthday, she wakes her up, and they somehow accidentally suck their building into a 2-dimensional drift because her mom and herself are scientists and inventors, particularly within the dimensional type of physics. So, yeah, there's also an alien love interest who comes to save the day. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, but you can go read my review and find out what kind of mess it is and see if it's a mess that you're interested in, because it was cute, and it's a prequel novel, so it's not like it took me that long to read. It's got 60 pages. Then I listened to Pygmy by Chuck Palahniuk. This novel sits somewhere in between a 2-star and a 3-star rating for me. So it's 3 stars on Goodreads right now. This novel follows an operative who is titled Pygmy by his American family who adopts him. He's an international exchange student. Yeah, pretty racist, right, to call this kid Pygmy. It's commentary on North Korea, as well as the problems within American politics, the obsession with American consumerism, socialism, the distaste of socialism, obsession with capitalism, obsession with sex. Yeah. But it can be a little bit gratuitous. I knew Palahniuk was weird. I didn't know he'd be this weird. I honestly am still processing some of the things that happen in this novel. Huge trigger warnings for everything. At one point, Pygmy rapes a classmate, and then there's a school shooting committed by this classmate that he raped. And it was hard to read because of all of the stuff that was occurring in Texas at this time with the school shootings. So I was just kind of affected by it because I'm going into education, so it's affecting me. And then I'm reading this satire piece with more shooting, and it was just a lot. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not scratching Palahniuk off my list of authors because I own Invisible Monsters, and I'm really looking forward to that one. And I still also want to read Fight Club as well as some of his other books. So he may end up being an author I like. I can't say though because I feel like Pigmate was the wrong place for me to start. His novel, that novel in particular, is not one that's very liked. So, yeah. The next book that I read is Ashes to Ashes, the third book in the Burn for Burn, Cannot Speak or Articulate Our Words, by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian. Actually, I'm looking up what I gave the other books in this trilogy so I can tell you for reference. But I gave this book personally 3.5 stars. It does what it's supposed to. It's a revenge YA novel about these 3 girls who have been wronged by Remy and Reese, who are like the popular girl and popular boy of Jar Island. And this novel is no longer a contemporary novel like the other books in the series. So it's kind of weird. I gave Burn for Burn 4.25 stars, and I gave Fire with Fire 4.5 stars. Yeah, I really enjoyed Fire with Fire. I definitely agree with that rating. But yeah, this one's not my favorite of the trilogy, mainly because of the ending. I was a little disappointed by it, but I enjoyed the series overall. It's not the strongest in the series because I feel like the way that Fire with Fire was done was just so brilliant. This one is interesting. You can definitely tell that they're not paranormal writers, but it's fun. And I was sitting there like this, I'm like, yes, yes, and I was flying through this, which is nice because as a college student, I don't fly through physical novels very often, but I was like sneaking this in my psychology class. I was like, yeah, she's going through the PowerPoint. I'm gonna just sit here and read. So, don't do like I do, folks, even if I got an A in the class. But, you know, it was a mainly online class, so it's not like I really missed anything as far as PowerPoint notes go. The next book that I read was a book that I was sent for review from NetGalley. It is called The Mars Room by Rachel Kushner. I gave this novel 4 stars. It follows Romy Hall, who is a convict at the Stanville Women's Correctional Facility. After she's sentenced with 2 consecutive life sentences, all because of what happened at the Mars Room and what the Mars Room brought to her. This is a novel that focuses on commentary of female inmates and just how a lot of times women who end up in correctional facilities are products of their environment and not products of, you know, they can't get out of their circumstances, you know, like a lot of times they're raised in these kind of environments and they become products of that environment and they can't break the cycle. They get out of prison, they go back. Romy has a son and he witnessed what happened that led to her having 2 consecutive life sentences. This novel has a huge twist in the middle, which I did not expect. Not like a plot twist, but like a twist in where the story went, which I was hoping it wouldn't go in that direction because that is a heartbreaking turn of events, but it's what happened. And so this novel is sad, but I really enjoyed Kushner's writing style. I wasn't a fan of some of the characters, but I think that The Mars Room is a really excellent literary fiction novel. It's kind of in the same vein of Eileen by Otesha Moskva. So if you're interested in Eileen, which I was a huge fan of, I think you'll like The Mars Room. It's kind of got the same style and tone and just unreliability of the narrators. So yeah, I was really excited about picking up The Mars Room because it's about a correctional facility. So that was interesting. So yeah, out of all these, how many books did I talk about? I think my favorite is actually The Mars Room. That's the one that I'd recommend the most. So yeah, let me know down below in the comments if you're interested in checking out any of these novels, what your thoughts are, if you've read them, and don't forget to subscribe. I hope to see you down below in the comments. Bye, and happy reading.